Yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top weekly sports stories. Jets green, by the way. I am your host, Eric. Main man right over there. Ron, how are you tonight?
Is it too late to score a touchdown
I
for
don't
the
know.
Patriots?
I think so. I think so. Well, we know which bandwagon you're riding on, and we'll get to it shortly.
Oh, hell no.
But do we have a show for you tonight? Want to thank everybody out in Dallas, Georgia, 99.1 WDJY for listening to us every Saturday between 1 and 3. SEC TV for letting us be on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. on Public Access Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut. And all our fans across Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, thank you for your support. Continue to follow, share our show. We've got a lot going on, and we want to continue to grow with you, including merchandise. So if you'd like some Sports Unfolded merchandise, jump on Patreon at RI Broadcasting, pins, mugs, and so much more. Ron, this has been a week. This should be a fun one.
It's been a week, all right.
This should be a fun one. We're going to have some fun. If you are joining us live, please join the chat. Let us know what you think. If there's anything you want to talk about as well, more than welcome to jump on and let us know what you want to talk about. As long as it's not religion, no politics, more than happy to talk to you about it. Ron, I guess it's time to start. We're going to have some fun tonight. This leadoff story, a lot of hype now around the New York Jets after their victory last night over the New England Patriots. Do you consider the New York Jets a favorite in the AFC after last night's game?
No, not yet. First of all, I think they're so undisciplined. They should have ran the Patriots out of the building. I mean, I gave up at one point where it was like 14 missed tackles the Patriots had. And yet they only scored 24. It should have been like 40. I mean, they didn't take advantage of that. They got so many penalties that they couldn't get things going as much as they could possibly have done. They could have scored so much more, but they lack discipline. So until they shore that up, I don't see them as a contender.
So I'm going to ask you this question, Ron. When the season began, would you consider the New England Patriots to be one of the contenders this year for the end? Okay.
No.
So that's my first point. Secondly, they got completely beat by the San Francisco 49ers, who were missing Christian McCaffrey. I don't think that people are sitting back now and we're going to ride the Aaron Rodgers train. It's pulling up now and everybody, the hype train's there and holy cow, he looked amazing. New England's not very good.
No.
And we're consistently seeing, the game they won against Cincinnati, I think it was more Cincinnati played poor than it was New England played well. They're not offensively, I think maybe 130 yards total in the game, somewhere in that range.
It was awful.
It was horrible. Defensively, they are who they are. They don't have any legitimate playmakers, and their two best players are out now with Barmore and Jawan Bentley. So sit back. Go ahead.
Eric, I've been saying this to all these people that, New England's pretty good this year. They're playing better than what everybody's expecting. And I'm like, no, they're not. They just got lucky they won a game. And frankly, their defense is pretty okay. It's okay. They're very vanilla. They can only do so much. They don't have playmakers on either side of the ball, and that is going to limit the Patriots of what they can do. When they need a big play, they can't get it because they don't have playmakers. on either side. And that's just the truth.
And to your point, Garrett Wilson's one of the best wide receivers in the league.
Right.
Brees Hall, their offensive line, they kept talking about it the entire broadcast of how they rebuilt that line. We already considered their defense one of the top defensive units in the league. So you sit back now and you say, okay, well, to your point, 24 points. That should have been a 40 plus to 3. And in fact, if you bring Drake May in at the end of the game with 4 minutes left, I just sit back and start to think about this run. Let me ask you, in their own division, Buffalo Bills, would you consider the Jets ahead of them?
No.
The Houston Texans?
No.
Los Angeles Chargers?
No.
Kansas City Chiefs?
No.
Pittsburgh Steelers?
It's close.
How about teams that are right now 0-2? The Baltimore Ravens?
No.
The Cincinnati Bengals?
No.
Well, that's my point. Like, everybody on this hype train, all I heard this morning was how great the Jets are. They're going to the Super Bowl. Look at what Brett Favre. See, I don't even look what Aaron Rodgers. And everybody's like, oh my goodness, like they figured it out. They played a team that legitimately is probably going to win 2 to 3 games this season. And it's only going to be because the other teams play so poorly that it's a gift. Do not sit back and tell me that they're better than 6 or 7 of the other teams that are in the league right now playing well. Yeah. I don't consider this team much better than. I still question the coaching with Robert Saleh. I still question Aaron Rodgers' commitment to anything.
Did you see that video that everybody is hyping
about
up?
The hug, no hug. He pushed him away. I don't. And then Rodgers is saying,
I looked at that. To me, I don't think Rodgers likes him.
No, it didn't look like it. The eye language.
Oh yeah, like he clearly didn't want him to touch him. Clearly,
Kenny, thanks for joining.
I don't know. I mean, that could be something that I don't know if it'll affect anything because. I think Aaron Rodgers does want to win, right? I think he does want to win, mostly because, only one Super Bowl is not going to get it done as a legacy. So I think he's trying to save his own butt as far as a legacy. So he wants to win. The problem is I don't think his ego can get out of the way.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how committed he's going to be to this whole thing if they start to struggle. You mentioned the Robert Saleh thing. Does he start to question the coach and his ability to win games? Does that get a little funky? I do have one real question, though, Ron. Do you think Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels actually went home with Aaron Rodgers afterwards since they were so...
Oh, my God. I couldn't take it anymore. And it was more... of the color man than anything.
Holy Toledo.
Like, I thought he was actually sleeping with him.
I didn't even realize other players were playing in the game. I thought it was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he's so
by
great.
Himself.
He's so great. Oh, isn't this great? Like, I don't even know how many times he described Aaron Rodgers as, like,
every time Aaron Rodgers ran, it was like, oh, hopefully he's okay. Like, okay, this is football, man. Like, it's all right. People get hurt. I don't know. I just think that this league is looking for something and they want Aaron Rodgers to be involved in it. But I am not there. I am not at that point where I'm going to put them ahead of 6 or 7 other teams just in the AFC. No. Just in the AFC. And what's the one team they beat? Tennessee?
Yeah.
They beat Tennessee.
Tennessee
they beat
and New England are their 2 wins.
In Tennessee, they were down. They were down. And Will Levis actually cost the game for Tennessee. So it wasn't even like the Jets won it. They would have been 0-2 going into that game.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And
Kenny, I mean, listen, this is why you need guys like us in a booth because we're just going to call it like it is. These guys, I mean, holy cow, could you get any? I mean, the amount of butt kissing that went on in that game.
And they do the same thing to Patrick Mahomes. They don't do it to pretty much anybody else in the league.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Chris Collinsworth, every time he's got to call a game with Patrick Mahomes, it's like absolutely Patrick Mahomes could throw backwards, and he'd say, "Did you see the accuracy, though, with the backwards pass that, I don't get it. It's okay. Tom Brady was human, too. We're fans. We used to yell at the TV when Tom made a mistake. It's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Aaron Rodgers throws a bad pass. They're like, oh, the wind. The wind might have taken. I mean, he's not perfect. Holy cow. By the way, the Jets offense ranked 17th overall right now in the NFL. The defense
that's not
ranked
that
10th.
great.
They're middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Middle of the ground. So I think slow the train. You know what I mean? Everybody's on this hype train now. The New York Jets are the team to beat. They beat Tennessee. They beat New England. Slow your roll. If you have an opinion out there and you're joining us live, let us know. Are the New York Jets legitimate contenders for the AFC? I don't think so. Even though he's wearing Jets green, I don't know what that's all about. He doesn't think so either. So,
well, I was just excited because I watched a lot of Larry Bird this morning when I woke up. I watched a lot of highlights,
Celtic green
stories and stuff. So I was in the green mood because of that, not because of the Jets.
I don't know, buddy. It's a little too coincidental.
I think there's at least 28 other teams that I like more.
Only 28.
At least.
Out of 32.
At least 28.
You don't want to go 31? 31 other
Well, because obviously there's Miami that's still there, and there's Dallas. So, and then you got to leave room for one more, maybe Carolina. So those teams, they might be I don't know.
Why do you hate Carolina, though? You can't. It's just like
I hate Carolina.
They're like the stepchild that nobody wanted.
Crap. They're not even good enough to be in the CFL, never mind NFL.
Wow. Good segue, though, my friend. Let's continue talking some NFL. Carolina Panthers have decided to bench Bryce Young. Who do you blame for his struggles?
Mostly him, and probably his coaching. Somewhere along the line, it's got to be his parents.
Wow, man.
The scouts.
Come on.
Let's talk college football coach. I mean, there's a long list of why he's not good. Yeah, absolutely.
I disagree with you. The organization has let this kid down. And this is like the Mac Jones situation in New England.
Yeah.
You keep changing coaches. There was no structure. All right, Ron, I'm going to ask you this. Name me two guys on their offense besides Bryce Young.
Dalton.
All right, Andy Dalton, a backup quarterback. I'll give you it.
I don't know.
That's my point. They've surrounded this kid with zero talent. Adam Thielen is their best player, who's in the back end of his career. I think Chuba Hibbard is their running back.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Chuba.
Like, they don't have anything. Their offensive line's horrible. He's got his second coordinator in 2 years, second head coach in 2 years. They clearly went into this thing without any plan in the world of what they're going to do with this kid.
No, they don't have a plan. But at least there's hope if they do get a plan. See, we're in New England. We have the same problems. There's nobody to throw the ball to, but yet we had a plan.
Well, I was saying, think about the sacks that Brissett was taking last night.
Oh,
I don't want Drake May in there.
I don't want him in there either.
It's a train wreck. That's what Bryce Young is going through.
And now we got to play San Francisco next in New England. But Carolina's going through the same thing. They're going through the exact same thing. It's going to be a race for the bottom between these two teams.
So Bryce Young in his career, 2-16, 59.3% completion percentage. He's thrown for over 3,000 yards. 5.4 yards per attempt. That number not very good. A lot of dinks and dunks, like a little bit. 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Yeah, that's a good choice of words. Does he get his job back, Ron? Is this you think this is something where out of Carolina, or does he get his job back?
Something tells me he's going to get traded before draft day.
Could be, right? Number one pick overall. You think there's still somebody out there that might think that they can work with this kid and do something.
I mean, look, it's a crapshoot, right? So we don't even know if he's really good enough to be an NFL quarterback because being in Carolina is not going to tell you if he is or not.
We always talk about this, and he was in Alabama.
Yeah.
The level of talent in Alabama in college, right? They have pros playing college football. Realistically, most of those guys get drafted first round.
And it's usually the big guys, right? It's
So
usually
think about
the big
this.
boys on the line.
Yeah, if he gets some talent around him, do you not feel he could make something out of that? Versus what he's working with now. He's not a guy that's going to get things done. He's not like a Jalen Hurts who has the mobility and can do some things that others can't.
What I think, when you look at the team and you look at what he's got around him, which is zero, he's not this bad, right? But is he a guy that's going to go win you a championship? I'm not so sure because I haven't seen the accuracy. I haven't seen, him even really try to go downfield at all. And that also could be because there's nobody open because they're all terrible.
Nobody to go.
But we don't know if he can even do that. And that's the problem with all of this. Is there a team that is going to take a chance, Dallas, on a guy that just can't seem to get it done as a starter?
All right, we get it. The Cowboy shots. Go ahead.
Yeah. We don't know what he's even capable of because right now, there's nothing to show.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't blame him. Because I'm sure he's working and he's working hard. You're working if you're working with the bottom of the barrel in talent, how do you make that
play like
better?
the bottom of the barrel.
There's nothing you can do. Jacoby Brissett yesterday didn't have a shot in hell.
No.
I don't care. Every time they snapped the ball, there was 3 guys on him. Yeah. I don't care what kind of quarterback. If that's what you got to work with, you're not going to be successful. It's just a given.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they got to start to look at Bryce Young in the same.
I keep going back to this New England game because it's very disturbing because they're going through the same thing as Carolina. Whether you understand this or not in New England, it is basically the Carolina Panthers. That's what we're dealing with here.
Ron, this is by far the longest rebuild in any team's history because we are on like 4 years now, 5 years without Tom Brady.
Yeah, and it's worse.
And they still haven't figured it out.
It's gotten worse every year.
Yeah, how are you rebuilding something? And I don't know, one brick. Ooh,
and now I feel bad. All those times that I basically insulted Cam Newton.
Pretty damn good, wasn't he? He got this team 7 wins.
7 wins is pretty damn good for this team since Tom Brady left because everybody left after that, and they haven't really done anything. But what is more disturbing to me is when I was looking at that Hail Mary at the end of the first half, even though they ended up giving up more points, just besides the fact. The Hail Mary, I'm looking at the people trying to catch the ball. There were 3 Jets there, and there was 1 Patriot. And the Patriot was just looking at it, seeing the ball come, and did nothing. Not even attempt to go get it. And
Henry, he can't move.
That goes to show you the playmakers that they lack. Why can't you get somebody that can just jump and make a catch? Fight for it. I'd rather get a penalty there. At least you try.
I don't know.
And Carolina's got the same problems.
It's getting ugly.
The same problems.
How do you judge these quarterbacks when that's what they're working with? Like I don't know. I just feel like there's something.
When you look at it, Chicago went and they improved their team for their quarterback. Correct.
Yeah, and he still stinks, but at least he's got talent. They win. They win a game.
They won a game
because they got enough talent around him to make up for his lackluster.
They did that in Houston last year.
And then look what they did the second year. The second year, they even added more talent to say, okay, we got something here.
Yep.
You got to. Houston is
Houston
proving to
struck
the
gold.
league, right? How to build a team.
Gold.
Yeah, they figured a way to build a team, and
Yeah.
I think copycat league. More NFL teams need to understand that. I need to surround these young kids with talent because you're wasting it. All right, Ron. Let's look at some games of interest for this week. So week 3 in the NFL. Yesterday's game, what an exciting game that was. That we said so we looking forward to this week. So Ron, what's your games of interest? What are some of your games of interest?
Well, geez. Oh, I
got
almost
5?
spilled all my water in my mug.
I got 5. 5.
I've got 6 games of interest.
Ooh.
6.
Okay.
Mostly because I'm so disinterested in most of the league. I will give you my bottom one first, and that would be Miami, Seattle. Only because there's no Tua.
Sky Thompson, baby.
Now we get to see if they can contend with Thompson. I mean, I don't think they can. I mean, it's almost laughable. But they're going up against Seattle, who had such a close game with New England.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Ron. That was an interesting. We didn't talk about it, but IR for Tua, so he's out at least the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Word coming out is he wants to come back.
Yes.
And we talked about it last week. Do you think Miami at some point? So it gets quirky with the contract. If he, I think, gets out, he doesn't get certain guarantees. If he's forced out because of injury, then he gets the guarantee. It could be either way. It's vice versa. Whatever. I think this is a way for them to figure that out. I think this is a way to figure out how to get him his money.
Yeah, I'm not sure they want to. I think it is a problem. Maybe there'll be a settlement or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll rework his contract so he can get a portion of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can get some of it depending on how it happens.
But if he just flat out retires, I don't think he gets much.
No, he doesn't. So, all right, interesting game. Obviously, we got to see the quarterback situation there. Yeah. I guess if you want to call it my bottom one, I would go 49ers at Rams. And the 49ers right now are struggling with injuries. They got a ton of injuries. No Debo, no Christian McCaffrey. They just said George Kittle now probably out as well. So all they got is Ayuk. The good thing he re-signed, as you could see.
Yes, it's not there at the bottom that,
they may lose him. So realistically, that could be an interesting game because it's in division. And we know how important division games are. Both of these teams need that win. 49ers, a lot of injuries. Can Brock Purdy be the quarterback to carry him through?
Well, he's got to show that he can, right? I mean, if not, then they're right back where they were every year, where they just don't have that one guy that can get that Super Bowl win. And when you look at this league today, I mean, we have 3 quarterbacks in the league that have won a Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty pathetic, actually.
Aaron Rodgers being one of them.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers and Stafford being the other.
Yeah, and then Mahomes, right? Yeah.
And then Mahomes. And then the rest of the Super Bowls left with Tom Brady.
That's it. Come on. Oh, because Patrick won so many.
Unless Nick Foles comes back.
Out. Yeah, he's out. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Holy cow. That's pretty interesting. What else you got?
All right. I have Houston and Minnesota.
I have that game as well. Both 2-0.
Yes. Minnesota with Sam Darnold.
Right? I don't believe the Vikings are for real at 2-0.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they got a chance to take a stronghold on the NFC right now if they can win this game.
Right. Jordan Love hurt. Green Bay struggling. Yeah. Chicago still not, I don't think. And then Detroit with that big loss last week.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, this is big. This is a big game for Minnesota. I mean, if they can win this game, then, it's pretty much they have to take care of business, in their division.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah,
you
no.
can win 50% of those games, then you're talking you might have, a potential playoff bound team,
Yeah.
possibly even division winner.
No,
Who would
absolutely.
have thought that?
Right? Vikings, Sam Darnold. I had Chargers at Steelers.
Yes, I have
Right?
that
Both
one as
2-0.
well.
Herbert, though, not a little question on his health. Maybe not playing. We'll see. Obviously, that would change. But then the Steelers can't score a touchdown, so the Chargers still could be in it. And I
Yeah.
think they have the best defense right now, points per game. They're only giving up 6 points.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's
in 2 games,
defense has been a beast, and that's what Tomlin's good at, right? He's good at making sure that defense is solid no matter who's there.
This is going to be blasphemy, so please forgive me for this.
Uh-oh.
I may think Tomlin's a better coach than Bill Belichick. And I'm going to tell you why. You think
he always
about
got a winning record,
but think
always
about the
seems to make the playoffs.
Dude, Kenny Pickett last year was his quarterback.
I know.
You got Justin Fields right now. You lost Ben Roethlisberger, who was considered a top 5 quarterback in his prime, right?
Yeah.
Look at what New England. You lost Tom Brady. It got progressively worse. It got to a point where they just said, I'd rather move on than even give you another shot.
Yeah.
This guy seems to find ways to win no matter what. Defensively.
And we know they don't keep their big free agents.
Ever, right? They get rid of all these guys.
Yep.
I don't know.
Next man up.
I'm just saying.
I'm not gets him ready.
What's up, James?
It says, hey, James, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Nice, buddy. That's awesome. That's crazy to think about. And I can't believe I just said it, but I might put Mike Tomlin ahead of Bill Belichick.
I think he's definitely in the conversation. Look, they win championships. They make the playoffs all the time. Look at what they're doing with what they have, right? I mean, look, when you look at that roster, yes, they have what? Great player. But
right? They got Watt.
After that, there's a big, steep, spiral for, who's next, right? But they get it done. He makes these players into quality players. And we said this about Bill Belichick many times. He puts players in the position to win.
Tomlin can turn chicken into chicken salad somehow, right? And it's good. It's good chicken. It's the chicken salad with the cranberries in it, everything. I don't know, man. This guy
cranberries.
But you got to admit, I don't get it. But every single year, you're like, this the year they're gonna have a losing record.
But I'm still sore at him for that big trip on the sideline.
That was a good play. What else you have?
All right. I have Philadelphia at New Orleans.
I do as well.
I mean,
you don't believe in the Saints, Ron. You put it Sports Unfolded NFL top 10 poll that was posted. You said the Saints didn't deserve to be in there. And then week 2, they said, I'm going to show you.
They did. And that's exactly what they did.
They beat a second NFC.
They beat that crappy Dallas team that is just awful. I'm sorry, James. I forgot you're a Dallas fan. If I would have realized that, I would have made sure I sent all of those videos that I sent Eric and Kenny.
1996.
Oh my God.
Cowboys.
Look, that was just awful. That's at home. You got your ass whooped at home by the Saints led by Carr.
Did you hear he got fined for the Michael Jackson thing?
Did
he did a little Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I know what he did.
A little grab there, and he got fined. Have you ever seen the Keel and Peele one? They did one, and the guy, he's like, one more, thrust, then you're getting a flag. And he's like, and he just says that little, and he's like, and they throw the flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's Derek Carr. He did a little grab. They threw the flag. Yep. I will say this. it's very big for the Saints to win this game. I think it's more so for the Saints because if they really start to put themselves ahead in the NFC, because think about it, we still consider Dallas, Philly's probably going to be up there in one of the top teams. You can beat them. That's home field in the postseason.
Yeah.
Right. So
and again, we're talking about New Orleans. If they go to 3-0, they're in that same position as Minnesota. Right? I mean, they take a stronghold on a lot of teams, and Tampa Bay, who is trying to match them to 3-0. I mean, we looked at that division and we said it was a joke, right?
Yeah, we thought Atlanta was going to be the runaway favorites. Look at it now.
Right.
And that James
now they're in a battle.
Dark horse. He says rewind the NFL preview show. He said it. New Orleans a dark horse.
Yeah.
So,
I give you credit.
That's a good one.
Look,
that's a good one.
I give you credit on that. I thought Carr was a decent quarterback. We knew he had an arm and we knew he could pile up the yards. But we just, you're not afraid of Carr. And here he is. He's showing that he belongs as a starter and he can win.
So
he's doing a great job.
I think I got a raw deal with the Raiders. My last one too. Ravens at Cowboys, and for two different both these teams have different reasons. The Ravens cannot go to 0-3,
right?
Because that would really
not in that division
hurt you. And then the Cowboys need to show that last week was just a small blip, and they lost focus, because if they lose and they lose bad.
But how do you lose focus and give up 1,000,000 points? I mean,
it happens.
That's an excuse. They didn't lose focus.
When when New England lost to Kansas City, and then it was on to Cincinnati, the famous Bill Belichick thing, they got blown out. I think they lost 40 to whatever it was. It was embarrassing, and everybody said Tom's done, blah blah blah, and then they came back, and obviously the rest is history. Maybe that happened with the Cowboys. I'm not saying that's what happened.
That's not happening with the Cowboys.
But I'm not saying but I'm saying is maybe they just lost focus. They didn't take the same.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Eric. This is what's going to happen. Baltimore is 0-2. They are going into Dallas, and they are going to win the game. They are going to win. Mark my words. They are going to win that game. And then Dallas is going to fire McCarthy. And then you know who's coming, right? You know who's coming. Give him this team.
He's happy.
He's not happy.
He's got podcasts. He's on TV. All right,
and
Ron.
He will drop it like a hot potato.
Brand new poll up. Great conversation, by the way. Oh, you have one more game, don't you? You had 6.
It was the same one, Baltimore Dallas. Okay. So it was the same one.
Brand new I can't even talk. Hall of Fame nominees for tennis. Polls are up now. So if you'd like to induct one of these gentlemen into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame, join the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page. It is up now. Bjorn Borg, Stefan Edberg, Boris Becker, John McEnroe, Yvonne Lendl. Cast your vote for one of these gentlemen for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. We just inducted Derek Thomas and George Foreman. So
yeah, I'm getting there.
So George Foreman now in the Boxing Hall of Fame and Sports Unfolded, as well as Derek Thomas, who joined all those fine NFL players as well. So help continue to grow. This is voted on by the fans and only the fans. So cast your vote. Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook. It's up now. It's up now, and we'll talk about the NBA one later on in the show. But cast your votes, get your votes in, and vote for the next inductee into the Tennis Hall of Fame to join Martina Navratilova and Pete Sampras. Ron, it's time for starting 5.
Oh, this is a fun one.
3, 2, 1.
Tonight's starting 5 athletes who were in movies. We're going to rank our best movies with athletes as the star or appeared in the movies. So I already see some pictures up there. I did not put in wrestlers or bodybuilders.
Bodybuilders.
I'm just saying because
no Arnold.
No Arnold. For
it's
me
a sport.
I felt, I get it, but I felt like it would have been automatic. George Foreman should also be in the Grilling Hall of Fame. We will add that to one of his many accomplishments.
The Grilling Hall of Fame.
That grill made him a ton of money. I mean, geez. But
more than he ever made with boxing.
You are first this week, Ron. So your honorable mentions for athletes who were in movies. You're starting 5, but your honorable mentions.
All right. So I have 6 honorable mentions. My 5th, well, number 6, I should say, has to go to Alex Kara's Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Right? That was such a great comedy. And we're doing it, I'm guessing, by your favorite movies, right?
Yeah.
So I went, at the number 6 spot in that. Number 5 spot,
Joe Flacco.
Space Jam, right?
Michael
Space
Jordan,
Jam,
right?
Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and a slew of other NBA stars that were in there. But those are the ones that matter. And what matters is it wasn't Space Jam 2, because that's god-awful. Awful.
I would give
so you see the difference? Michael is even the GOAT at the acting part of it compared to,
Agreed.
Number 4, I have Goonies at number 4, honorable mention. Joe Matuzak, of course, the late Joe Matuzak. Great movie. They're going to make another part too.
Yeah, I heard now. Yeah,
so,
with the original cast too.
With the original cast, except for Joe.
Yeah,
obviously. Number 3, Princess Bride. Andre the Giant.
I see. I left him out because of wrestler, but yes, one of my all-time favorite movies. Lance Armstrong and Dodgeball. That was a good one.
Yes, but I didn't want to put Lance in there.
That whole bar scene.
It was good though. I love dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh, absolutely. What else? Who else you have in your honorable mention?
Number 2 in my honorable mentions is Mike Tyson in The Hangover. Gotta love it. Gotta love Mike. I love Mike Tyson. He's a funny man.
He is.
He's a funny man.
Him
and his pigeons.
Yes.
And my number 1 honorable mention, and it's got to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No, not for Airplane. It's for the Stan miniseries. It is technically a movie where he's out there ringing the bell. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. They're coming for you, Larry.
Oh, boy.
Love it. Classic Kareem. Gotta love that.
All right. So I am shocked in your honorable mentions, unless you made your list. Cam Neely, 1994, Dumb and Dumber.
Make my list.
When he spit on... I can't. Cam, it was great. It was a great scene.
I hated the movie, so there was no way I was
how did you hate the movie? Pretty birdie.
Dumb and Dumber. I do not like Jim Carrey. I think he sucks.
Brett Favre, 1998.
No,
There's something about Mary.
Something About Mary is a funny movie, but
it's a phenomenal
I can't put
movie.
Brett Favre in there.
At the end of it,
deserve recognition
with Brett, loved it. And then
he's a scumbag.
And then the biracial angel, Derek Jeter, 2010. The other guys, I loved when they were sitting around and Mark Wahlberg's going, "You stop, Derek Jeter. He's a biracial god."
It's funny because a lot of these movies are so good. I had such a tough time putting what I wanted in there.
It was
hard.
All right, so we're on to our starting 5. Your number 5.
My number 5 is probably a little controversial about being an athlete, But it's Bob Uecker in Major League. Bob Uecker had 14 career home runs, by
He
the way.
did play in Major League Baseball. I'll give you that.
One of those was actually off of Sandy Koufax. Not Sonny Koufax, but Sandy Koufax.
Okay. 14 home runs.
So he's my number 5.
All right. I went Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 5 for Airplane.
For Airplane, yeah.
And then I watched that whole scene. And I love when the kid was antagonizing. My dad said...
It's a funny movie.
Right? They did such a good job in that movie. But
yeah, they did.
I went Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at 5.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm like, none of these are going to be wrong answers.
Absolutely. Who'd you have it for?
Number 4, absolutely, because it's a trifecta of athletes, for one.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Predator, one of the greatest
movies.
Predator.
Ever.
One of the
that
greatest
was
movies
such
ever.
a good movie.
I don't have time to bleed, man. I don't have time to bleed.
That's right.
One of the greatest lines ever. Never got enough credit for that one.
Nope.
Love that movie. One of my favorites all time. Predator.
Yes.
Go watch that thing 8 million times. Good choice.
That is one of his best, Arnold's best.
Oh yeah, agreed. You're one ugly. I can't say it. At number 4 for me, Dan Marino, 1994, Ace Ventura. Hey Ace, either that's the worst case of hemorrhoids. I can't. Ace Ventura. Let's watch that in an instant replay. Dan Marino, number 4 for me.
That's good. That's good. I don't like Jim Carrey, of course.
I know you said it,
but Dan is funny. He was in a TV series too.
All right.
And he was funny. Oh, no, wait, was it? No, Bad Boys. Remember when they were just taking? He was test driving a car.
Yeah.
And they came and they took the car from him.
Yeah.
I should have remembered that. Oh, damn it! I'm so upset. I'd have that in there. That would be in there. Sorry, Dan. That would be
Dan
in
Marino
there.
at 4 for me. Number 3.
Number 3, I have Arnold in Terminator.
See, that's why I kept him out because I felt like he would have been in everything.
Well, now that I'm looking at it, it is the same people in my top.
That's why I love.
That's his second in this.
I don't know for Terminator, right? Obviously,
Terminator.
One of the greatest movies ever too.
I'll be back.
At 3 for me, one of my all-time favorite movies, The Hangover, 2009. Mike Tyson, dude, when he plays in the air of the night, it's like, and then he just clocked him.
I actually had Hangover at number 4, and I crossed it out, and then he kept dropping. I was so confused at that point. I didn't know what I was doing.
My favorite line, him. When he says they're watching the video and he goes, "You guys are sick." Like, you just knowing what Mike Tyson has done. And he's like, "You guys are sick." That one in the LT one, when he goes, "This is why don't do drugs." Still one of the best lines though for somebody, but I didn't put LT in. I forgot all about that one. But Mike Tyson at 3 for me. So who do you have at 2?
Shoot, I didn't think of Waterboy.
Yeah,
Damn
right.
It. Number 2, I have the other Adam Sandler movie that features Carl Weathers. Who's second time in the list?
See?
Happy Gilmore. He was Chubbs in Happy Gilmore. He was fantastic. And I had a little bit of a nostalgia last night, Eric. I went to Flo's Clam Shack to get some fried clams. And on the song, on the speaker was the song that Chubbs was playing the piano to. We've Only Just Begun, but the original. But I was like, Carl Weathers nailed that song. He was way better than the original. And I love that movie. Happy Gilmore is my favorite comedy of all time.
Another sequel coming.
Yes, I know. I'm so excited. I cannot
I'll
wait.
take the Waterboy top for me. I agree, James. That was a good one.
That's great. I would have had that in the list too.
At number 2 for me, The Juice, O.J. Simpson, 1991, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. And I think that poor guy was, I mean, granted, we know what happened afterwards, but
in the wheelchair
at the end, and just right down and just started flying through. It was such a good scene. And then I watched the scene today when it was like when
so funny.
When he was playing the umpire and they're waiting for the call, and then he's like, strike, and the whole crowd chants, so everything was like strike, and he's done. But yeah, that was such a good movie. Naked Guns, they were so good.
It is. I didn't put him up there because
Yeah, the juice is loose, baby. Number one for you.
it's great. Number one, Carl Weathers for the third time.
Come
the
on.
trifecta. The trifecta. 4
Rocky.
years with the Raiders. That has to count for something, right? When you're with that franchise, it has to account for something. And it came today. Carl Weathers, Rocky 1, 2, 3, boom.
All right.
Number one.
All right.
I put all three of them there at number one. Carl Weathers is Apollo Creed. You can't have a Rocky movie without Carl Weathers.
Even the Creed movies, right? Like it was such a big part of making
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
Number one for me, Ray Allen, 1998. He Got Game with Denzel.
Yes.
Right? Jesus Shuttleworth, like the kid.
I forgot about that movie too.
Pure shooter. Like when you saw Ray after that movie, you were like, this kid really maybe he is Jesus Shuttle. Like the kid could just shoot. So I put Ray Allen at number one.
Good choices. Look, looking at all these movies, I've seen all of them, right? We've seen all of these, and lots of them we've seen multiple times. Like, absolutely. I don't know how many times I saw Rocky movies, so I had to put it up there because I've seen that movie the most. And it's
I agree with you. I get it. I just left, like I said, I left some of those guys out. That was fun. That was a good one. All right, let's talk some NBA. Great list, by the way. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was great. I mean, we didn't even touch on a lot of them.
No, there's so many.
It's insane.
Philadelphia 76ers, Ron, and Joel Embiid have agreed to an extension. Do you think it's a smart move? So 3 years, $192.9 million. This guarantees him $299.5 million through 2028-29.
Is he now the highest paid player?
He is not, but his final year of this deal, now he will make $70 million.
Wow.
He is currently 30 years old. So you're talking about at 38, no, 5 more years, 35, he'll make $70 million.
Jesus.
Great player.
Yes.
Way too injured. I think if he wasn't as injured, the most games he's played, Ron, in his career for a season has been 68.
And that just barely gets him in the talks for MVP.
Right. 21-22 season. He played. Listen, they've built a good team around him. They got Paul George. They signed in the offseason. Tyrese Maxey, extremely good young player that you can see is going to be. They're running out of time, though. And I think this contract is more to just say, hey, thanks for all you've done. Because I can't see how he plays this out for the next 5 years, considering how much he's had injury issues.
Well, I can also see that they could possibly even trade him, too.
I highly doubt. Although the way these contracts are going, right? At some point, somebody who's making $70 million is getting traded.
I mean,
right? They find ways.
I mean, you think about it. You could see it happening maybe a year or two down the road, unless they win it like next year, which I'm not going to say that they're going to do or not. But I mean, if they win a championship, I can see them trading them right after that. But
I think what you could out of them.
Yeah, because I think the injuries do scare them.
Fans in Philly would kill them if they did.
Yeah, but at least they'd get a championship and they'd at least be able to do that. But
it's a risky move.
He's such a great player. It is a risky move. I mean, we think about like some of those big men in the past. Like Hakeem, Shaq, Russell, Wilt, Kareem. The thing that they had in common, they stayed pretty healthy for most of their careers, at least the prime years, right? Shaq at the end.
Thanks for Boston. Thanks, Shaq.
Yeah. But the problem is he's not healthy ever. And
he's always one play away. Like, it's scary.
Unless he wins a championship, he's never going to be worth that much money.
And I think they said now with all his guaranteed money or his payouts, I think he's like the fourth all time, over 500 million in paid money he's going to have. And it's like Steph, LeBron, Paul George, and then him now, which is insane to think about, right? That's where this league's going. For his career, 27.9 points, 11.2 rebounds, 3.6
Of those
assists.
players, who would you rather have?
Yeah, you're going to hate me from saying, well, I'd probably say Steph, then LeBron. Never been a big Paul George. Like, I like the guy. I think he's a good player.
It's not worth that much.
No. 7-time All-Star, 2 scoring titles, 5 All-NBAs, 3 All-Defensive, and an MVP. He needs to win a championship, though. I agree with you. I agree with you. Ron, let's bring up those NBA Hall of Fame nominees.
Oh, this is a doozy.
This is a tough one. Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Walt Frazier, George Gervin, and Bill Walton. Vote for one of these gentlemen. Go to Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page on Facebook. Cast your vote. It's already up, ready to go. Vote one of these guys to be the next inductee into the NBA Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be a real tough one. I mean, any one of these guys is well deserving. Like, there's not.
They're all good.
Right?
They're all good. They're all great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we're talking some of the best players of the 70s. Some of the best players. Not all of them. There's a ton more.
Yeah. It's insane. What a great list. Good luck.
Who will they join? That's the question, right?
Are they going to join? Yes. Basketball, we have Bill Russell, Charles Barkley, Irvin Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan. One of those guys is going to join them in our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Again, voted by the fans. So remember that. Voted by the fans. So you get to cast those votes. All right, Ron, you ready to talk some baseball?
Oh, my gosh. Of course.
When
am I not ready to talk baseball?
Let's talk some Shohei Ohtani.
I should save the graphics for Shohei because we're always talking about him.
Every week. First man ever. I feel like Larry Bird needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He is in the Hall of Fame.
He is.
He's in our Hall of Fame. Shohei Ohtani, first player ever to the 50-50 club. Yeah. 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Your thoughts? Is this a special accomplishment?
I don't think so. It's special anymore.
Really?
Because I mean, it's special, but not because of the whole stolen base thing. I mean, you might as well just put them over there, put players over there because it's just like a free base. They're stealing home plate at a bigger rate now, too.
They didn't change the size of the home plate.
No, but
there you go.
It's just the whole.
I will say this:
all the rules that are designed for it.
Last night, the fact that he went 6 for 6, hit 3 home runs.
Well, yeah, that was pretty.
And special. 10 RBIs, plus he stole a base, and like it's incredible. But then I wanted to look at it this way, Ron. First player to ever join the 40-40 club, Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
42 home runs, 40 stolen bases.
Yep.
The only guy to even come close in home runs was Alfonso Soriano. He hit 46, but he only stole 41 bases. Ronald Acuna Jr., 41 home runs, 73 stolen bases. Nobody's come close. So the fact that he's at 51 and 51 is remarkable.
It is.
He is going to break the trend and be the first DH, official DH, to win the MVP.
Yeah, isn't that scary? I'm not sure I like that, but
this kind of puts him in that boat now. Like, how do you not put him in? He's clearly above everyone else in the league.
Yeah, I know. And that's the sad part. Now, if he was still in the American League, who are you picking? Him or Judge?
I'd still probably pick him, believe it or not. I think he's done more based on the fact that Judge has got the home runs, but not the 50 stolen bases.
No. But what are the RBIs like? What are the runs like? You know, these are all factors, you know, and I mean, they're both from teams that are pretty much stacked offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no holes in those lineups. And it's pick your poison, right? I mean, they're clearly better than everybody else. New York doesn't have as great of a pitching staff, but when you're scoring runs like that, you don't need them because nobody else can put up those numbers.
Do you think there's somebody that eventually gets 60-60?
It's still not out of the question. It isn't going to happen this year.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough game unless he really goes.
What is it? 9 games left.
You know the crazy part of this, Ron? Can I tell you this part? This is the most craziest thing of this whole thing. 40-40 club, least amount of games played. Alfonso Soriano played 147 games and got to 40-40, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shohei Ohtani played in 126 games. And he's at 50-50. If he had played the whole season,
he's going to do it next year.
Isn't that insane?
He's going to do it. Maybe
126 games.
Outside chance this year, but definitely next year.
126. That's insane. That's almost half of his games. He either hit a home run or stole a base.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to think about. 126 games. That was
like he's pretty much the best baseball player we've seen probably since.
You know what's not fair?
Willie Mays, Hank Aaron.
You know what's not fair, Ron? Next year he pitches again.
And wins another MVP.
Right? Like, what do you do at that point? Like, he's already proven he's the best pure hitter in baseball right now when it comes to power and speed. And then you're going to say, oh, by the way, we had an off year where he didn't pitch. Guess what? Next year, come back, pitch. Come back, pitch. I don't know. I don't know. This guy, he's
like a 2.63 ERA.
He's Babe Ruth. He's our modern day Babe Ruth. And probably better. And probably better. Yeah, I agree.
Better.
Which is insane, right? Insane. I think it's a major accomplishment. 50-50, though.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Gotta love it.
It is.
With 126 games. Guess what next week's Major League Baseball story probably be? Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
The graphic.
2 home runs away from doing the 60-60. 2 home runs.
All right, Ron. It is time.
Can he do it in his last game of the year?
It is time for split decisions. Our split decision segment, basically, we ask each other 2 more likely questions and have to answer it, make a decision. You are first this week, Ron, so your first split decision.
Yeah, I got some good ones for you. I'm a little concerned that you chose the same thing. So I will definitely do this one first. Who will more likely be the Boston Bruins goaltender on opening night? Opening night. Key question there.
Yeah.
Bussy, Corpusalo, Kaskasuo. It's the guy that they just picked up.
Yeah, I heard.
Or Swayman, or someone not on the roster.
Capersalo. And we'll talk about it, obviously, when we talk some NHL. But I will say this, the only guy in the roster with experience besides Swayman, what I was hearing is December, possibly before Swayman, they even start talking again.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. We'll talk about it later.
I don't know. That's what I heard. All right. My first split decision. Which team, Ron, is more likely to go 0-3 after this week? The Baltimore Ravens, who face the Cowboys, or the Cincinnati Bengals, who face the Commanders?
Well, it's got to be Baltimore more likely because Washington... It's Washington.
But we also thought good. New England is New England.
I know. I understand that. But Cincinnati did play much better against Kansas City and may have or may not have got screwed.
Nah, that was a good call.
But they missed the hold.
They
should have been offsetting penalties.
You know how many holds they miss in the NFL?
Yeah, but it's just convenient that they never call it on Kansas City.
got Patrick Mahomes. It's like Tom Brady.
Every
So you're
Super
going
Bowl they've been
Baltimore?
in, no holding calls in
Yeah,
all those Super Bowls.
I know. I will agree with you though too. I think the Ravens. I think the Cowboys could beat them. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to happen, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about the predictions after. So your second split decision.
Okay, second one in. Oh, this is beautiful. Who will more likely be elected to the NFL Hall of Fame in 2025?
NFL Hall of Fame.
NFL Hall of
Okay.
Fame in 2025. There are 21 Patriots that are on the list right now. And let me tell you, Drew Bledsoe is not one of them.
Wow. Didn't Drew already get in? Or just the New England one he got in? He got in the New England one.
But Doug Flutie's on the list.
Oh, Doug.
But of these players, who is
Yeah.
more likely to be elected?
Okay.
Vince Wilfork,
Yeah.
Teddy Bruschi,
Mm.
Willie McGinnis,
Mhm.
or Rodney Harrison?
I'm taking Vince out. I'm taking Teddy out. Because I think they had very good careers, but I don't think Hall of Fame careers. Vince, maybe. Teddy, Oof. Rodney deserves it. Rodney deserves it. But I think Willie McGinnis would be the one that would get in. Willie, just the sack totals and what he kind of, that defensive end got. We know how they feel about defensive end. So I would go with Willie. Probably Willie, Rodney, Vince, Teddy, in that order.
Okay.
That was a good one. That was a very good one. I really like that one.
That is good.
Kenny, I'm glad you're on because I want you to answer this one as well. Ron, Kenny, which team is more likely to finish with 50 wins or more next season? The Milwaukee Bucks or the Phoenix Suns? Both won 49 games last year.
Milwaukee Bucks.
So you're not giving Kevin Durant, Devin Booker,
No,
Bradley Beal,
because they're in a
any luck?
tougher conference.
So you're going West is tougher, although the
West
East
is
won
too
it
tough.
last year.
Yeah.
East won it last year, though.
Yes, I get that. The best team was there, but after the Celtics, not very deep.
Okay. Kenny's going
So
Sun.
I'm gonna say Milwaukee. I don't think they can get 50 in Phoenix. I just don't think. First of all, I don't think they're gonna stay healthy enough.
That's a good call, though, right? Durant, Beal, all of those.
Yeah.
How much time do they miss every year?
Yeah.
All right. That was fun. That was a good one. I
That
like
was a
that.
good
I
one.
like that Patriot one. That was a really good one. Let's talk some NHL, Ron, my hockey guy. I know you've been dying to get this going, but this is going to be a fun story. Jeremy Swayman and the Boston Bruins have not signed a deal. They are now in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next move for the Boston Bruins?
Well, they're gonna conduct their training camp as they have, right? Look, if you recall, David Pastrnak, when he signed his contract, it went 3 days into camp. People don't remember that. When Charlie McAvoy signed his was signed 6 days into camp. And then Brandon Carlo was 8 days into camp. So the Bruins do have a track record of taking forever to sign these deals. And to me, this is a simple
I got to ask you this question because you obviously follow the Bruins and are a big Bruins fan, though.
Yeah.
Was the cap an issue with those guys?
I don't think so.
This is where I think this is different than anybody else.
This is different because of that.
Because
yes,
of
I
what the
agree with
Bruins
that.
have to spend. And what's happening now is, hello, homie. All right, thanks. You stream well. Thank you. Appreciate that. I suck docs.
No, I york. Orc.
Oh,
I orc.
Okay. You know where my mind is right now.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
guess so.
With these Bruins, because they're really stinking it up on this thing. I think you're wrong here.
I don't think I'm wrong.
What I'm hearing and everything that I'm listening to,
Yep.
They're far apart. Bruins are trying to get him to take like a hometown deal. He wants the max. He knows what his value would be in the open market. He's not taking less, and they don't have enough to pay him.
See, here's the problem with it all, right? He wants $10 million. Bruins can't pay him $10 million because that's too much on the cap. So they'd have to get rid of somebody, and they're already, it would have to be a defenseman that they get rid of. And they have the best defense in the league right now. With the addition of Zadorov, that is making them the best defensive unit in the league. Now, with that being said, $10 million not possible. Bruins have offered what, 6 point something, right?
From what we're hearing, yes.
Right. What they all need to do is just say, hey, what's 10 minus 6? I mean, 10 plus 6 divided by 2. 8 million. 8 million. They have 8.6 on the cap. Just sign the freaking contract. Both
He's
of
not
you
taking it.
Stop being idiots.
It's
right?
him. This is
It is
Swayman
him.
now.
Right.
Swayman's got big time energy. Like what was that song by Lizzo?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Look,
I'm
Eric,
telling you,
this
he
is
said
simple.
the
Yes.
Bruins screwed up here in Don Sweeney and these
They
guys up
should have
there.
signed him before trading away
Ullmark.
Ullmark.
So
This
Linus
made
Ullmark,
him.
this gave Swayman all the advantage now to say, hey, look, good luck.
But it doesn't give him the
Brandon
advantage.
Bussey, who's had no experience in the NHL.
Yeah.
Michael DePietro,
Yep.
right? 0-2, 5.25 goals against, a .771 save percentage so far in the NHL. And then Caprasalo.
Yeah.
So then you look at Swayman's numbers, 79, 33, and 15 overall, 2.34 goals against and a 919
It's
save
ridiculous,
percentage.
right?
He's so good.
But see, here's the problem with it all. Nobody is going to sign him because nobody can fit him in the cap. All right. There's a lot of rumors that Colorado would be interested, but they still have to, trade for him and then try to work out
Could
a
this
contract.
be a sign and trade though thing where maybe Boston gets a player back?
It could. It could. And I'm at the point now where, you know what? Oh, well. Because this is a guy that's only played a certain amount of games. If he got paid $6 million a year, that's where he should be getting paid. That's the going rate for a goaltender that quality at this point in his career. He's a restricted free agent. Nobody is going to sign him because the cost will be huge, especially at $10 million. They'll have to cut some people from their team. They will have to mortgage the future. The Patriots, the Bruins would probably end up with 3 to 5 number 1 picks from them because that's the compensation.
So let me ask you this. Bruins, 8.6 million, you said.
Yes.
You don't think Swayman could just go back and try to sign a deal for like 8.7 knowing that they can't pay it?
Wait, Swayman with the Bruins?
No.
With
another
somebody else.
Team.
Well, nobody can pay it.
I think he's better with the Bruins right now. This is more about him and the Bruins.
He might be, but you know what's going to happen? He'll sit out a year. That's what it would take for him to be free. He would have to sit out all this year, and then he loses all that money because nobody is going to shell it out for a guy that may or may not be effective full time.
So you think ultimately he signs a $6-7 million deal?
No, I think he signs an $8 million deal.
For how long?
Probably for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think
if he's smart, he does 8, 9, 10, 10, 10. If he's smart, he does that. That's what they should do with Swayman. Just get it done. It's stupid. Now,
who do you blame for it not getting done?
I blame the mistake of trading Ullmark first. That's the first mistake. Now, from then on, he realized, oh, well, now the Bruins have to sign me for more money. So now it's just his greed. And look, goaltenders, they want players to get as much money as they can, but at what cost is it going to be? Do you want to win a Stanley Cup? Then you need to keep that salary down. In the NHL, a salary cap is a salary cap. You have a salary.
Yeah, there's a hard cap in the NHL. We know that.
Right.
So it isn't like you could move money. Or the NFL and the NBA, they
Right.
kind of hide money and do things with money that.
Right. You can't do that. The only way you can hide money is if somebody gets hurt. That's it.
Who let Linus go thinking that this was a done deal with Swayman?
I think this was a group collaborative with Neely and Sweeney and probably even higher up.
So you still think a deal gets done? I
still think a deal gets done because it has to get done, because there's no way somebody else is going to sign him and give up 5 picks, maybe more. Because it's like you get a first round pick if you sign from like 2 to 4 million, and then from 4 to 6. It's ridiculous. You give up way too much. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like they could trade for him, but the team that's trading for him is still going to have to cut some players.
Yeah.
And Colorado seems to be interested, but they'd have to get rid of a piece, and that will ultimately cost Swayman having a great year. If he signs for $8 million right now, he's going to have the best defense possible in front of him. He's going to have a monster year. And then if you put it with bonuses, do that. Make it $2 million worth in bonuses.
All right, we'll see. I don't know.
But you're not going to get the value if you trade for him.
Yeah, I don't know if a deal gets done, but it'll be fun to see. It'll be fun to see. Ron, it is time for pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
It's time for pick and roll.
Episode 38, season 4, 1986. It brings us back to. These players led the major league in hits that year. Don Mattingly, Kirby Puckett, Tony Fernandez, Tony Gwynn, Steve Sachs, and Wade Boggs. We are going to rank them from 6 to 1. Again, you are first this week, Ron. So how do you rank these 1986 MLB?
Well, first, I'm trying to figure out if the graphics are actually there.
They're there. They're there.
Okay.
I like the little Kirby one. That's kind of that's different.
Yeah. I figured you'd like that. All right. So, to me, it was only about 3 players. But number 6, I have Steve Sachs. 1,949 hits was the least out of all these players. 281 batting average was the least of all these players. 913 runs was the least of all these players. There's a trend here. 550 RBI was the least of all these players. Although he did have the most stolen bases of 444. 5-time All-Star, 1-time Silver Slugger, 2 World Series. How did he back into that?
Dodgers. He played with the Dodgers. They had a good team.
See? Right. He also won a Rookie of the Year, but clearly way down on this list. I'm not surprised he's not in the Hall of Fame, if that makes any difference. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Not surprised.
Okay, buddy.
Wasn't he the guy that when he went to the Yankees couldn't throw to second base?
No, that was Chuck Knobloch.
Okay.
But Chuck Knobloch couldn't throw to first.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. All right, so he had a career with the Dodgers and the Yankees, right? He gets traded from the Yankees or goes to Chicago for whatever, and stunk. Literally stunk. So all that time with the Yankees and the Dodgers protected him in the lineup where he's really just a crappy player. Sorry.
The Christmas card lost, buddy. Good job.
Yes. Tony Fernandez, number 5, 2,276 hits, fifth on the list in hits. Let's see the trend. 288 batting average. He beat out Steve Sachs with batting. Runs 1,057. RBIs a whopping 844. 246 stolen bases, 5-time All-Star, 4 Gold Gloves, 1 World Series. Pretty decent player. A little bit better than Steve Sachs, right? Number 4, I have Don Mattingly. 2,153 hits, 222 home runs, 307 batting average. He was a very good, steady player. 1,007 runs, 1,099 RBI. It's nice to see a player that can get, the 1,000 in each. I love that. He was a burner on the base pads.
A burner.
14 stolen bases in his career.
Just think,
like
Ron, if he was still
years.
playing today, he might have been the 50-50 club.
He might have been.
Might have
been. 6-time All-Star, 9 Gold Gloves. The guy was great at first base. 3-time Silver Slugger, won a batting champion. He is at number 4. Then we get real, right? These 3 Hall of Famers. Don Mattingly, not a Hall of Famer. I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's getting porked on that one, but
I would say
don't
so.
get me started.
307 batting average. That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So number 3, Kirby Puckett, 2,304 hits, 207 home runs, 318 batting average, 1,071 runs, 1,085 RBI. What is that? 134 stolen bases, 10-time All-Star, 6-time Gold Glove, 6 Silver Sluggers, 1 batting champion. He also won the ALCS MVP, and he has 2 World Series. But it still wasn't enough to get past the other 2 guys, despite them not having World Series championships, except, Wade Boggs kind of fell into one.
Let's go Yanks.
Fell into one. Not happy about that one, but...
Rode that horse, baby.
Yeah. Wade Boggs, number 2, 3,010 hits, 118 home runs, but he could have hit 400 plus easily if he wanted to. 328 batting average, 1,513 runs, the most on this list, 1,014 RBIs, 24 stolen bases, so he was even faster than Don Mattingly.
You got
12-time
tonight.
12-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Gloves, 8 Silver Sluggers, 5 batting championships, and 1 World Series, like I said. But the best player on this list is definitely Tony Gwynn. 3,141 hits, most of all of them, 134 home runs, 338 batting average, the most out of all of them. 1,383, I think that is. I'm not sure if that's a 3, but
yes.
1,138 RBIs, so definitely piled up 2,400 plus run production. 319 stolen bases, second on the list. He's a Hall of Famer, of course, as is Puckett and Boggs. 15-time All-Star, 5 Gold Gloves, 7 Silver Sluggers, 8 batting titles. That's ridiculous.
It was. My man Bryce joining. That's one of my War Zone brothers. So not a big sports guy, but I appreciate the support, Bryce. Thank you for
Bryce
joining.
Gubbs.
Bryce Gubbs. We get a lot of dubs. That's what we do. So, all right, Ron, I'm going to give you one of these tonight, my friend. Because I had it the same way. My pick and roll, 6 Steve Sachs. You are correct. My man was like, wow. Tony Fernandez, okay
He's a
career,
good
not
player.
bad.
No, I like
Not bad.
I like him as a
Good
player.
career. It hurt me with Don Mattingly. Let me say this. I didn't he had more home runs than Kirby Puckett. And you think about Kirby Puckett.
Yeah.
Right? Don Mattingly, 15 more home runs for his career. Don Mattingly's career got cut short with all the injuries. That's what kind of hurt him. Sports, so thanks, Eric. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Sports Unfolded. We appreciate that. So Don Mattingly at 4 for me. Kirby Puckett 3. Again, Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn were tough, but then again, you look at the batting averages. Think about what we talked about a week ago with Ty Cobb. Like they're still 30 points behind Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
But I mean, the amount of hits, the 15 All-Stars, 8 batting titles. I mean, Tony Gwynn was such a good player in our era.
Yeah.
And so many great players. But that was a fun list. Fun list, Ron.
His problem was he was in San Diego and they didn't get players.
San Diego, as Ron Burgundy would say. Okay. No, nothing on that one. Come on. That was a good one. You don't like Anchorman either? You're not a Will Ferrell fan either?
No.
So Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey out for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
I do like Will Ferrell's Blades of Glory, though.
Really? Like of all his movies, Blades of Glory? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Okay. I thought you were going to go Bewitched. I was getting a little...
Oh, God, no.
You're not a Nicole Kidman fan either?
I am a Nicole Kidman fan, but...
Okay. All right. I'm making sure here. I don't know where we're going. Ron, it's prediction time, my friend. Great pick and roll. So our prediction segment, basically, we allow you to pick the games. We get your name added to our Sports Unfolded prediction chart. So if you're joining us live as we call the games, let us know who you think will win the games. Last week, me and Ron 500. Kenny, as usual, coming back with that 2-4 record. That's the Kenny we expect. So, James, if you're still live too, man, let's get back on it. Get back on the horse, my friend.
Yeah, everybody get in there.
All right, Bryce, my friend, you could pick these games as well. We'll see how you match up against us. We start off in the Major League Baseball, Ron, kicking off on Monday or Tuesday, I'm sorry. The Baltimore Orioles at the New York Yankees.
This is a tough one.
3-game set.
Tough.
Who wins the 3-game series?
I'm going to say it's New York. I'm going to go with New York and hope that they lose.
If I come in last, I need a trophy. We don't do participation trophies in Sports Unfolded. If you know anything, Kenny, you do not. James is going Orioles. Bryce is going New York. We got a new guy on the list. There we go, Bryce. Kenny, we got the little bird here. Kenny, who you picking? I went Yankees as well. I just think the Yanks. Listen, this is to take the AL East. I think this is the last week of the season, believe it or not.
I know.
How quick baseball, huh?
Yeah. I feel like I've been watching baseball all summer.
Kenny went You are on fire tonight, my friend. You are just rolling. WNBA action. Believe it or not, Ron, playoffs. 9/22 to Sunday. Sunday it kicks off. Got the Indiana Fever at the Connecticut Sun.
So Indiana made the playoffs.
They did.
Only to get beat by Connecticut here.
Caitlin Clark's first WNBA playoff series. I'm going Sun. Game one. Going to the Sun. Ron went Sun.
Here comes the sun. That's all we can sing of it.
Sun ends it. The Sun are coming in hot. Get it? Hot.
Oh, you're on fire.
What I did there? Bryce represents.
You can't stand the heat. Stay out of the kitchen.
There it is. Everybody went Sun.
Oppo.
Clean sweep. Clean.
No.
Oh no, Kenny went.
Kenny went Fever.
Kenny. Oh. All right. Also, starting Sunday, Seattle Storm at the Las Vegas Aces. Again, game one of that playoff series.
Yeah, I'm going Las Vegas of this. It counts now, right? Las Vegas is
It's
ready.
for real.
They finished the season pretty strong
Very strong.
against good teams.
James going aces. I also am going aces. Viva Las Vegas. Bryce, my man B.
Thank you very much.
I don't. James sent a nothing. Oh, ace. There it is. Kenny aces. All right, Kenny. All right, that one's a clean sweep. All right, clean sweep there. Clean sweep. September 21st, tomorrow, you got some MLS action. The Portland Timbers at Real Salt Lake. I'm going Real Salt Lake here at home.
Yeah, I'm going
think they're
Salt
for
Lake
real.
as well.
I think they're for real.
That's good one. That's a good one.
Real Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake. Not that fake Salt Lake. I hate that. I mean, got to use the real salt.
That's right. Gotta use real salt.
Timbers get a Bryce. Timbers. James Salt Lake. Salt. There it is. I love James. He is amazing. Happy birthday again, James, man. You're amazing. We love you. We love you. Kenny, wake up, buddy. There it is. All right.
Might think that you'd put a tree or something there.
NFL action. 9:22 this Sunday. You got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints.
That's a tough one. Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Oh God. I don't know what to think of Philly at this point. I'm going to go New Orleans.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going
The
New
guy
Orleans.
that didn't believe in him.
Nope.
The guy that didn't believe in him.
They got me on the bandwagon.
Bryce with the eagle, and he put the emoji. Let's go, Bryce. I went Philly. James going to New Orleans. Kenny's going to Eagles. All right. This is going to be a tough one. That's going to be a good game. Very good game. Going to Eagles there, though. Also Sunday, you got the Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings. Ron, Sam Darnold comes back down to earth a little bit. I'm going Houston here.
Yeah, I'm going Houston as well. I do not have the confidence in Sam Darnold as I have in Derek Carr. And that's a big difference right there.
I can't believe you picked the Saints. That was pretty good. Houston Texans at the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you got, gentlemen? Texans for sure. Bryce is 100% sure on that one. James, Houston. Kenny's going Vikings. I put money on it. That's what he does. He lives on the edge, Kenny. He's that guy. Told you. I knew it. Check out these guys every Saturday, by the way, on the one of the best morning talk shows going on daily.
Oh yeah,
Kenny Jones.
Kenny have a good
Sunday,
time
every Sunday. Saturday, every Saturday.
Yeah.
Every Saturday. Also this Sunday, Ron, I wonder who James is picking in this one. Baltimore Ravens at the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you have?
I'm going Baltimore. They're not going 0-3. There's no way they're going 0-3. Dallas is in for some hard times.
Bryce went Ravens. All right, B. Bryce with the Ravens. I went Ravens as well. I think I agree with you. I can't see them going 0-3.
I think
Kenny's going with the Ravens. Ken, love you. God, it's shocked James. I cannot believe it.
James, was he that punched your TV after they lost that game against New Orleans?
Well paid, $240 million. No way they're going to 0-3. No shot. Agreed, Bryce, right? I can't see the Ravens. Lamar's not going to allow that to happen. Some college football. This Saturday, number 12, Utah Utes. Did you say a Ute? What's a Ute? Oh, the two youths. The Utes. At number 14, Oklahoma State Cowboys. Ron, who do you have?
Well, here's a case where I believe the Cowboys could win. So I'm going to go Oklahoma at home. That's going to be a good game. Number 12 versus 14. Oof.
Yeah, very good game. Very good game. As Texas Longhorns,
they're not one of them.
They're not one of the teams, but okay. The
Utah,
number 12,
Oklahoma.
Utah Utes, Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, because he just wants a cowboy. One of the Cowboys could win, James. Good call. That's the only Cowboys team that'll win, so I'll go Cowboys. Bryce, there we go.
He's here for the first time, and he's already on James.
And Kenny's going okay for Oklahoma.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? So that was a clean sweep there. And then the big race, my friend, this week, the Bass Pro Shops night race in Bristol. We need a top 5 driver. We absolutely stunk. 2 weeks ago, though, James, you did win one. We will see next week. All right, we will see. Definitely. Join us 6 p.m. every Friday night. But I went here, Ron, Christopher Bell, who's actually had, like, in the last 5 races, almost the most laps led. So I think it's time for this gentleman to win. So I'm going Christopher Bell.
Yeah, I'm going with I think I went with him last week. It didn't turn out so hot, which means that he's definitely coming back this week. He's won the last 2 races at this track. Denny Hamlin.
All right. Denny Hamlin. Chase Elliott for James. All right. All right, so that's our predictions. Bryce, Bryce, ring the bell. He's got this. Oh, Bryce going with Bell as well. All right. So that is our prediction segment. Thank you for joining us. For that, we will make sure Bryce will be on our list next week. So tune in next week, Bryce, to see how you finished and let's see if you can beat us. That's exciting. Ron. We are ending our show. But before we end our show, I always love for you to tell all the wonderful people out there how they can become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded and help us continue to grow.
Yeah, Eric, it's very simple. All you have to do is send us an email at ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information that you need to know. And look, jump on this. I mean, because it isn't going to be long before somebody picks this show up. It's not going to be long. 13,000 listeners in the Dallas, Georgia area. It's only a matter of time. And so get on this. It costs less than going to your local coffee shop and buying an iced coffee, right? An iced coffee. Still a little time left for the iced coffee before
Pumpkin
you switch
spice
over to
now,
the
baby.
hot brews.
Pumpkin
right?
spice.
Get that pumpkin spice, and you can get a pumpkin muffin as well, right?
Oh, now you're talking my language.
So you can do that, and it'll cost less than that.
Absolutely. Plus, you could buy me a coffee. Go to Buy Me a Coffee, Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can donate stars and bits as well if you're watching on Facebook or Twitch. Truex Jr. Damn, Kenny's.
Damn, he just sent it?
Kenny's going Truex. All right, Ken. All right, we'll put you on there. You're in. All right. I will say this, Ron. You can also follow us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, MeWe. We are on all the social platforms.
Everything.
So check that out. Follow us, like us, share us. We appreciate that. Also, check out T Smooth on Twitch. Yes, we do some Warzone stuff on there as well. T Smooth 73.
I gotta jump in on that with you guys.
T Smooth 73, man. Let us know. We're playing tonight.
Yeah, I'm not playing tonight. I don't have my Xbox with me.
All right. Let me know whenever you want to join in. But you see some dubs, get some laughs. We have a good time there as well. I will say this. We are growing. We continue to grow. So many different followers. Let's get over 1,000, well over 1,000 followers on Rhode Island Broadcasting and Sports Unfolded. So check us out. We are continuing to grow. We are live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. If you like some Sports Unfolded merchandise, check out Patreon at RI Broadcasting. You can get yourself some stickers, pens, mouse pads, cups, and more. So check that out as well. Ron, we end our show on our final thoughts, and our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. You are first this week, my friend. So your final thought.
Look, my final thought is to Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what he's accomplishing it goes beyond, the thought of a baseball player. He's changed the perception of what a baseball player is. I mean, a lot of times we okay, you get a handful of guys that really work hard, like Mookie Betts type, Aaron Judge, those guys have a good work ethic, right? But what he's accomplishing is just not normal. I mean, to do it on both sides of the field, but in the field as a pitcher and then also as a hitter, we haven't seen this since Babe Ruth. I mean, you're talking 100+ years. He has changed baseball for what it is, and I just hope there's nothing negative that comes out for the rest of his career, so that way we can actually enjoy it, right? That's what we want. Now we need some more players with this kind of a work ethic to come up and get in and do what you got to do to succeed, right? And just try to enjoy the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. And we owe him an apology, right? Because even when that whole gambling thing came out, we pretty much said it was a done deal. He did it. And come to realize he didn't. Like, it was kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
But so, Shohei, what a great accomplishment. 50-50 club, first man in Major League Baseball history. You all right there, buddy? You want to? Well, then. So my final thought, actually, I want to thank Gerard Mayo. As much as I dislike what I've seen so far the New England Patriots, thank you for standing your ground, saying that Jacoby Brissett will remain the starter, and not quick judgment to kind of, put this kid out there when clearly this line is not ready to protect anything, and obviously damage his career and possibly really ruin this quarterback. So I think that they're making the right call in New England. So great job there. And I also wanted to wish my son Eddie a very happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday. He is serving our country in the Navy, so I want to thank him for his service as well. Eddie, I hope you had a fantastic birthday. We'll get to see him next weekend as he's coming down to spend some time with the family. So we look forward to that. But I will say, Ron, as always, I have so much fun with you every single week. And if you've had fun with us live tonight, join us every Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. We are on all of those. Check us out on all our social media platforms. If you don't want to see these beautiful faces of ours, you can also listen to us on all of your audio platforms for podcasts. We are on all of those as well. And then check out the morning show, the best morning show on the internet, going on daily. It'll be on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Kenny will join. We look forward to that. And that's Lady Gemma Sports. Unfolded. Tune in next time. Thank you, sir. Bryce, thank you for joining live. James, thanks for joining live. Kenny, thanks for joining live. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Don't forget Ayuk.
He's not there. I will I will say this, Ron, make sure that you guys go on to the Sports Unfolded Sports poll page and vote for the next inductee in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Those polls are open now, so join that Sports Unfolded sports poll page and vote for those players for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame as well. Ron, every single week, we ask for one thing and one thing only, and let's hope we get it at some point, and that's peace on earth. Everybody have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone.